Hello everyone, this is Naerina from 40k Theories, and welcome to the September 2023 edition of the Patreon Q&A sessions. As always, if you would like your questions answered, then click the link in the video description below and help support the channel by becoming a patron. Ramles is currently feeling a bit under the weather unfortunately, but he has answered these questions. I'll just be reading his answers out loud. I may even give my own opinion on things from time to time. Now, let's jump into the questions. Voice of the Emperor asks, what are some of your favorite metal bands? I'm impartial to Sabaton and Powerwolf myself. And Ramles answers, Carcass, Evenfall, Sonata Arctica, hey! Korpiklani, hey! Emperor, Marduk, Behemoth, too many more to list to be honest. And for you guys who did not know why I said hey, that's because I'm a Finn and those were Finnish bands. And as for me, I would add to this list at least, Nightwish, and Auri, and Ailstorm, and is it Windrose? Goodness gracious. Well, anyway, the metal version of Diggy Diggy Hole. I love it. Pentadeus asks, do Gallifils prevent warp spawn, warp portals, and other chaotic influence if used in real space? And Ramles answers, as far as I'm aware, a Gallifil stops demons and the like from entering an area surrounded by it, but if there's a breach and field is reactivated, it doesn't nullify any chaotic influence that's already inside. As for me, as a TTRPG player, as a person who has played only War, Rogue Trader, and Dark Heresy, yeah, that's exactly how it works, at least in the games. And in before my game master comes to me like, you're remembering it wrong, and I'm like, oh dear. Anyway, would you consider doing a video on your character, Lord Inquisitor Ramles' backstory? And Ramles answers, already did, the Ordo Theoreticus homebrew video. It's also lightly touched up upon in the second episode of the Price of Knowledge miniseries. Yeah, go check it out. If the Afriel strain are clones of human heroes, could you add Space Marine gene seed during the cloned growth, and thus make a chapter with worse luck than the Lamenters? And Ramles answers, in theory, yes. A-Dog asks, if the Imperium could somehow mass-produce the Pharos device and the Blackstone pylons, would that be enough to make Chaos not a major threat? And Ramles answers, possibly. I'm vaguely aware that the Necron ending for Battlefleet Gothic 2, I think, has them using the pylons to close the Eye of Terror, but considering that the Pharos device was made from a Catan shard, the idea of the Imperium even being able to make them is highly unlikely. Griffin of Might asks, the recent Siege of Catonia book detailed a group of loyalist Thousand Sons who joined up with the Imperial Fists. Could this be the Games Workshop planning to do something with the idea of chapters being descended from Traitor Legion loyalists? And Ramles answers, maybe, but given that a chapter is comprised of 1,000 warriors, and, to our knowledge, there wasn't 1,000 Thousand Sons who joined up with the Fists, it's doubtful they themselves could form an entire chapter. And if they did, they would have been turned to dust by the rubric anyhow. If anything, it seems more likely that in order for a chapter to be derived entirely from a traitor stock, it needs to be formed of a very large contingent of loyalist traitor legionaries, like with Narek Draeger's loyalist Iron Warrior Great Company, for instance. Given that the Dark Angels are established to have forbidden tech from the Dark Age of technology, like the Exindio Battle Automata, is it possible other first founding chapters do as well, such as the Salamanders? Ramles answers, I doubt it, as I'm pretty sure Lyon's Primarch novel mentioned that the only reason the Dark Angels Legion had access to all that forbidden tech was strictly due to them being the first Legion, though I may be misremembering. What are some of your favorite non-Warhammer video games? And Ramles answers, the Panzer Dragoon series, Legacy of Kain series, and the Atelier series. And oh boy, for Naerina. Assassin's Creed 2, Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines, Journey. I quite enjoy Mini Metro. Nowadays I'm more of a cozy gamer, so I've been playing Pokemon Shield and Animal Crossing New Horizons. But from time to time I do play some of my favorites again. I'm pretty sure I'm forgetting at least half of my favorites. For instance, Final Fantasy VI and Final Fantasy IX. But yeah, This list could go on and on and on by me just remembering some random games that I've been playing, like, ooh, this one's nice as well. Like the Sims series. Okay, I'm gonna stop now. Brandon A asks, would you say that the Dark Mechanicum needs to be its own faction after all this time on the tabletop? Remlace answers, for Horus Heresy at least, yes. Naerina answers, yeah. Do craft worlds need to become larger over time, given that the Infinity Circuit gets more Eldar souls? And Remlace answers, not to my knowledge, no, since souls, as far as I'm aware, don't take up any physical space the same way real-world objects do due to their etheric nature. Has there ever been an incident of a Genestealer cult fighting against Tyranids? And Remlace answers, not that I'm aware of, no. Richard Martin asks, is your current Primarch height video still accurate? And Remlace answers, probably not, no. It's a fairly old video, and a lot more info has surfaced since it was first made. Do you know of any books about the Thousand Sons fighting the Nids? And Remlace answers, no, sorry. If anyone does know, however, please leave a comment down below. Zero Hits asks, do we have any solid leads on who ambushed Angron as a child? A troop number for the assailants or a faction? Or is it all just hearsay and suspicion that it was an ambiguous group of Eldar trying to prevent Angron from becoming a monster? On that note, new theory idea. Instead of trying to kill Angron, the Eldar straight up adopt him to stop the prophecy. And Remlace answers, yes, if I remember correctly, it was detailed in the novel Angron, Slave of New Syria. Side note, in the audio drama Butcher's Nails, Angron and Lorgar are attacked by an Eldari Corsair fleet who try to kill Angron in order to prevent him becoming the Blood God's son. And Chief Surgeon asks, in theory, a Necron Destroyer Lord is susceptible to the Flayer virus. Would it make such a form more dangerous than its previous quote-unquote form? What would it look like? And Remlace answers, if I remember correctly, there's one within the Twice Dead King novels, though it has been a while since I've read those books. But from what I recall, it was extremely aggressive and violent, even by Destroyer standards. And that concludes this edition of the Patreon Q&A sessions. As always, if you would like your questions answered, there's that link in the video description. If you'd like to help support the channel, go ahead and click it and become a patron. Until next time, this has been Naerina from 40k Theories, and we'll see you again soon. Bye-bye!